Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-virjantam Vande Guru-paramparam. Okay. So we saw last time how gaining this, there is nothing higher to be gained. All that we saw. Now that was 2 weeks back. So any questions, clarifications before I go ahead, or it's all clear?
Swamiji,
Yeah.
Swamiji, just a quick question.
Yeah.
So once someone gains this knowledge and becomes a wise person, they then say that the wise person lives by their prarabdha,
Yeah.
and the actions of a wise person are spontaneous and in keeping with dharma.
Yeah.
Does that mean that for a wise person the free will continues, or is there no free will?
There is free will.
Okay.
You can choose to teach, you can choose not to teach, you can choose your lifestyle. There is free will. See, everything a normal human being has, a wise person also has. Okay? The only added thing is the self-knowledge. Everything else is same. Therefore, freedom from dependency, the sense of fulfillment, all that will be there because of this knowledge. But in every other thing, he is like any other person. There's a lot of change. What is the change? When normal people eat, they'll call it lunch or dinner. When the wise person, bhiksha mein hai. Sunday afternoon is catching a nap. We all catch a nap after meal. The wise person catches a nap samadhi mein hai. इतना ही फर्क है और कुछ नहीं फर्क है. Meaning it's natural, Baba. What is it? No. So Zen master was asked, when you are working on your wisdom, what were you doing? As chopping wood, carrying water, cooking food, eating, drinking, sleeping. And after realization, what are you doing? Chopping wood, bringing water, eating food, sleeping. Whatever changes here and here, in the sense, what you feel, what you know. That's all the change. Free will, etc. is there. He may decide to teach, he may decide not to teach. He may decide to teach differently. Or he may decide to be a Mauni Baba, sit down quietly somewhere. What headache to take up and all this character is teaching. Forget it. He may decide to sit somewhere else. See, that will depend on his personality, all that he had before knowledge. Your personality doesn't go any major shift except this, the sense of fulfillment. So if you are doing anything for the sake of fulfillment before, now it will come out of that fulfillment. That's the big difference. Otherwise, there is no difference. Yeah. Like if he has an interest in music, that will continue. Yeah, it is not that after wisdom, no more music. Anything that is not opposed to dharma, or not opposed to the knowledge, will continue. What is opposed to the knowledge would have dropped down as a student itself. Dropped off as a student. So all other things. You give him a choice. Naraji, coffee or tea. He chooses one or the other, then you know there is a choice. There is a freedom of will. Even in a simple like that, thing like that, there is freedom of choice. And that may be because of his past conditionings also. This Mahatma from Gujarat, chai. Mahatma from Tamil Nadu, coffee. Come on. How can I do without coffee? So that depends. It is completely cultural. I discovered a new thing. I never used to like black tea or black coffee in Bombay. Black tea, sometimes if nothing else is available, fine, take black tea. Went to Kolkata. There it's a norm to drink black tea. If you want milk, you have to specifically ask for it. In the people with whom I was staying, interacting, etc. And the quality of tea is so good, I enjoyed it. Because Calcutta, you get some of the best teas in India. Some of the best teas come in. So I enjoyed it. So Bombay, I'll drink tea with milk. There it will be black tea. Ki farak painde? That's the idea. So some wise people may be foodies because they were foodies before. Like my friend who was in Calcutta was a big foodie. I am not. I enjoy good food like anyone else, but I can't eat a lot of things. I'm not a foodie. So what was the most difficult thing in your trip to Calcutta? The amount of food I had to eat. The amount of food I had to eat. So Thursday flight back home, I said, okay, no dinner today. Give my stomach a rest. Yeah. So then you're fine. So it is a very relative question. These things are, habits will continue. Some habits may change also because there's a free will to change it. Why not? The only thing is, he is not dependent on the fulfillment or non-fulfillment of those desires, those preferences for his happiness. He is happy anyway. That is only difference. He is a fulfilled person. So anything that you do, the choices you make, all comes out of that sense of fulfillment.
So Swamiji, if I may just ask a clarifying question.
Sure.
So when they say a wise person's actions are spontaneous, actually that's what caused my confusion actually. So what does, in this context, spontaneous, is it in keeping with dharma? Is that what spontaneous?
See, spontaneous actions are always keeping with dharma. Like you're walking on the road. Let us say you're British born and bred. There was a time when the stiff upper lip was strong in Britain. I don't see that anymore now. During my sailing days, when I landed up in Britain, with the sailors it was not there because Britain has a high sailing tradition. It was not there. But with others, they had a bit of a stiff upper lip, bit formal. So you're walking. Suddenly you find somebody falling in front of you. Would you spontaneously go and help that person or say, we have not been introduced? Spontaneously help. So that is automatically in keeping with dharma. Spontaneity is where there is no ego interference, either temporarily or as a norm. For most of us, it's temporary. Once in a way, like this, in a situation like this, automatically you'll help. Temporarily. After that, you may go back. After that, you may go back to your normal, deliberate behavior. For a wise person, natural. No ego interference. That's all. Nothing more than that.
Thank you.
But he may deliberate, like he's on a project, he's doing a project. Naturally, there will be a lot of planning, this, that, etc. going into it. Like making a plan for an ashram. The plan is not going to come up spontaneously. Certain decisions may be taken spontaneously. That's a different thing. As far as the spontaneity is concerned, the only difference between the wise and the unwise is, for the unwise, it happens on certain occasions. Like this, the example I gave. For a wise person, it is the norm of behavior. So that is the only difference. Any other questions before I go ahead? Then again, when you say dharma, dharma, spontaneity, dharma, remember this is universal dharma, dharma. We are not talking of social norms, rules, man-made laws, etc. That a wise person may not know and break a law. He may not know that. So that may happen. But if he breaks a law, he is willing to bear the consequences and do what is necessary rather than trying to run away from the place. It may happen. Yeah. If you notice, half the thing that we do in life are governed by society's norms, rules, regulations, etc. We are not talking about that part. We are talking about what is universal. So universal, like for example, you won't hurt someone, but people can get hurt. You said something which as part of a class was necessary to be said, and it triggered off some pain in someone. That can always happen, but the intention was never that. So those type of things can happen. Remember, even in a wise person's actions, there is no guarantee of success. Yeah, there is no guarantee of success. Things can go in sixes and sevens. And in rare occasions, there are also cases where a wise person has cursed someone also. Very rare. But it has happened. I know one case where it happened. Yeah. It is good that curse was good for the nation. For national good, it is good. Yeah. It worked out. It took some time to work it out because there was a big curse. Yeah. It took some time to work out, but it worked out. And the nation benefited from that curse. So it was still in harmony with greater good. So those type of things will happen. So certain irritation, certain anger can also come in a wise person. Momentary, not carrying a grudge, but momentary irritation, momentary thing can come up. That's all. Why? Because you're human. You have a human counterpart to yourself. Because you gain wisdom, you have not stopped being a human being. So all the emotions, love, affection, irritation, just sense of justice, all that will be there. As much as anybody else. What is the main difference? Are you a fulfilled being? Do you know what you are? And are you a fulfilled being because of that knowledge? If you are, you're fine. That's the second chapter, remember? Apuryamanam achara pratishtam sita prajna lakshana. It will come again. Yeah. Okay. So we saw that tam vidya dukkha samyoga. Did we see the definition dukkha samyoga viyogam? No, that we have to see today.
Okay. We have to start that.
Yeah.
Swamiji, one question.
Sure.
Swamiji, when we talk about, this a little of that, whatever we are doing, right? But when we talk of Papa and Punya, because you talked just about it, is it only intention that we look at, or action always comes into play?
Yeah. See,
when we have to make choices, cognizantly when we are having to make a choice about even prioritizing.
Yeah.
So how do we decide?
Gahana karmanam gatihi pandita api vimohita. Even a well-informed person can be deluded in terms of what is to be done or not done. there is no perfect action. Even a good action can have some problematic aspect to it because it's limited. Any action is limited. So go by your intentions. See that there is minimal damage. Damage will be there because there's always a price to pay, na? Either by you or somebody else. There's always a price to be paid.
No, if every action will have like papa and punya aspect,
Yeah.
how do we ever, I mean, our concept of getting free of the burdens of papa and punya, only then moksha is there, right?
Yeah.
So how do we attain that stage?
Yeah. Let's take a simple example. You have to live. For living, you have to eat. Okay. So eating, let me do minimum damage to the environment. Some damage will happen because I need a field, even with vegetables. I need a field to grow the vegetables. So obviously some trees have been cut down. Previously it was all forest. So some trees have been cut down. So there is some damage to the environment. Correct? Now the question is, do I want to cause pain to an animal? Visible, overt pain. Chop a lamb and eat it up. Or do I want to eat vegetables where there is pain for the vegetable, but it is minimalistic? Can you see that? There is pain either way. The plant, when you pluck the brinjal, the plant feels that pain. When you chop an animal's neck, the pain is more. So I am trying to make it as minimal as possible. That's all. But there is no, I always say this, there is no point being a vegetarian and hurting all the people around me. You better be a non-vegetarian and not hurt people. Are you seeing that? Ahimsa towards people first. That deliberately I will not hurt. Then if I want to extend it to the animal kingdom, I will extend it. But there is no hard and fast rule. It's a relative thing. Even Ayurveda for treatment, about 10% of the medicines have non-veg items in it. Like when you're treating leprosy, they use a lot of python fat. Fat gained from pythons. Your Ashwagandha Rasayanam. Sorry, Agastya Rasayanam, not Ashwagandha. Agastya Rasayanam has 2% of, by volume, meat in it. Because it's meant to build you up after an illness and things like that. So some amount of that meat there acts as a catalyst. It is there. So that's one thing, there is no hard and fast rule. It's highly relative. Jesus Christ ate meat, fish, drank wine. But would you look down on him because of that? It was a saint. It was a, yeah. How can you look down on him for that? Yeah, that is true. Sometimes it's necessary to build you up. The Siddha doctor saying that is correct. So survival. Life lives on life, remember that. So this is an example how to keep damage minimal. Like for example, for doing a yaga is punya activity, but you have to cut some wood and things like that. So now that is damaging. So you will actually, to minimize the damage, you will actually say a mantra, etc. to do that. You cannot live a life where you will not damage the society at all or damage the environment. Your existence is itself a problem for the society, for the environment. You're breathing out carbon dioxide, man. What about that? By the way, when oxygen first arrived on the planet, okay, it was a pollutant, because only with once plants started growing on Earth, oxygen came into Earth. So it started as a pollutant, but then it changed into other things. Now oxygen is not a pollutant. So breathing in good oxygen is good for you, but it also creates some damage, free radicals, oxidization. What do you do about that? So should you stop breathing? They'll create greater damage. So it's all a relative thing. You look at what is relative, do the best thing possible in the situation. And if ahimsa was that big a value, how will a soldier practice ahimsa? There is ahimsa for the soldier as well. But soldier's job is to kill or be killed. He can't say, my religious beliefs prevent me from killing. Can he say that? Then don't be a soldier. So, you can't say. Yes. So, ahimsa for the soldier would be to follow the Geneva Convention. Will not torture. You will offer aid to an injured soldier, even if he is from the opposing side. So there are certain conventions. So the Geneva Convention becomes ahimsa for the soldier. He can't say, I won't kill. Relative. The relative nature of karma. In the best of action, there's a little bit bad. In the worst of action, there's a little bit good. There's no perfect action. Karma phala is always like that. So I can't try to avoid all negative karmas. That's why they say, as long as it's within your duty, even if it is damaging, is the right thing to do. Because you're following your dharma. Swadharma now. Your dharma. In the larger context of dharma, what is yours? A soldier is to kill. A doctor is to heal. If they switch roles, it becomes a problem. If a soldier tries to heal more than first aid, he wouldn't know what to do. Doctor tries to kill, probably he'll be able to kill his patients at least well. But you don't do that. So, relatively you go into it. It's all relative. Intentions. So you can open a whole can of worms. If you want a discussion, you can discuss. You can have a 2-day seminar on this. With respect to sick patients, with respect to this thing, terminal patients. I mean, come on, there's so many. But it is worth thinking about, yeah. Because you'll get some idea. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Then he says in the 22nd verse. 22nd we saw last time, right? Guru napina vichalayed. By even any great grief, he is not shaken. He is not shaken.
Yes.
Okay. Then he says, Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sanyitam sanischayena yoktavyaha yogo nirvanna chetasaha. Tam atma jnanam vidyad. This Atmajnanam Vidya, understand as what? Dukkha Samyoga, as yoga. Understand it as yogam. Only Atmajnanam is yoga. All this time you have been saying Chitta Vritti Nirodha, etc. Samatvam Yoga Muchyate, Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. All these are the definition of yoga. So here Krishna gives a very special definition of yoga. He says even the Atmajnanam can be called yoga, but here, unlike, see the word yoga from yuj to join, and everyone plays join. The question is, nobody is clear what you are joining with what. You ask the yoga teachers what you are joining. Each one will come with a different explanation. Okay. Yeah. Now what are you joining? Leave the Atma out. And then if you give some answers, they are functionally valid. You bring in the Atma and try to give answers, it will not work out. Because most translations are Western translations. So religion is about binding yourself to God. Really great, to rebind yourself with God. Latin word. So they use the same explanation to a yoga. Yoga used to join you with the Atma, to join the Jivatma with the Paramatma. Revade, all that thing will come. Okay. Here he says, Viyoga is yoga, he says. Viyoga is disjoining. In what way disjoining? Dukkha samyogam. You have a natural affiliation with dukkha. What is the dukkha? What I said in the second chapter as an unwept sorrow in every human heart. That sense of finitude which creates that existential issues for me. The sense of disconnectedness, isolation, loneliness. Every human being at some time or the other feels lonely. Even if you are with family and friends. They don't understand you enough. You can be in the midst of family, they don't understand you. Something important that you want to do, they just don't get it. You can feel lonely then. They are so important for me, they are not understanding it, I feel. Like a friend. I knew him since school days. Lost touch with him. He called me up today, out of the blue. I said, hey champ, how are you? We were all talking. And then he said, how do you handle loneliness? I said, there's no loneliness, only solitude is there for me. Oh, how do I convert that? Loneliness into solitude. I said, we will meet and talk. It's too big a topic to be said on the phone. In a 3-minute conversation. We'll meet and talk. Yeah. We'll meet over a cup of coffee. I said, yeah, fine. So, this isolation, loneliness problem, purposelessness issues, okay. That all that I do after the end of it is what? 6 feet into the ground, no? That's it. All my achievements, what achievements? I mean, even avatars came and went. No? They didn't have the sense of purposelessness. They came for a given purpose, achieved that, went. Okay, bye-bye, tata, bye-bye. Time for me to go. I mean, imagine Krishna's life. Dwarka, the city of Dwarka was unrivaled in the ancient world. And the condition that when the time is up for you to go, the sea will reclaim it. That was the condition by which Varuna Deva allowed him to build there. Unrivaled city. So when it was time, he sat in Samadhi and Dwarka sank under the sea. They found the remnants of that. Very well preserved statues, etc. very well preserved city under this water. They found that. Good. Now people can't call it a myth anymore. It's not a myth, it's history. Like we used to always say, it's itihasa, history. So, purposelessness. This is the unwept sorrow in every heart, which you face in quiet moments by yourself. You don't know why you're feeling low, you're feeling blue, you use all these words when you're quiet by yourself. Why? Your vulnerability comes up. This is, you're a vulnerable human being. If you recognize that, then you will seek freedom from that. But we don't recognize that. We escape. You put on some music, put on the TV, go on YouTube, whatever. Call up a friend. Go to the local watering joint, whatever. You will escape. So this dukkha, which is natural for a human being, this dukkha samyoga which is there, that conjoining with the grief that is there, viyoga, freedom from that, to disjoin yourself from that is called yoga, he says. So relatively it is act of meditation, relatively speaking, temporary. When you see yourself as quiet, calm, peaceful, there is no more dukkha. But really speaking, it has to fulfill itself in knowledge, in self-knowledge. Then where is the question of purposelessness, loneliness, isolation? None of those things exist. You are harmony with the whole universe. In fact, you are the only reality that is there. There is nothing other than you. You are in complete harmony. You are Ananda Sarupa. In Ananda, what sorrow can be there? This is not your experiential Ananda. In experiential Ananda, there is always some sorrow. Solitude is such a beautiful thing. If only you had someone to share it with. मैं रास्ता पर जा रहा था. I was walking on the road without any thought. Suddenly on a road I came across a field of dancing daffodils. There's a song poem in English like that, the dancing daffodils. I forget the author now. Long back, school days. Oh, so beautiful. Beautiful experience, experiential joy. If only I could show it to my partner, my love, my whatever. So today what is the first thing you will do? Whip out your phone and click. In that very thing, the experience is gone. You have to record it now. You have to record it. Yeah, wandered lonely as a cloud. William Wordsworth, correct? That's the one. Yeah. So experiential joys will always have what we know as dukkha lesha. A little bit tainted a little bit with that sorrow. A little bit. I used to go out into the Himalayas. As a monk I have gone. As a sadhu. I have gone out with friends also. A group of friends. It's a different thing. There you are carrying equipment, trekking and all that thing. As a sadhu, when you go, you're going with the jhola. That's it. Okay. Two different ways of going. I tried both. So we used to go in this group, and there was this lady in the group. After the first night, she said, "Oh my God, only 5 nights left here. It's going to get over. Arey, enjoy what is there, na." Enjoy what is there. Everything is great, everything is beautiful. I'm very happy. It's going to get over. Minimum that much will be there. Experiential joys. Experiential joys are not going to be permanent. If an experiential joy becomes permanent, they'll become commonplace. They'll no more give you joy. Guaranteed. That's why people come and tell me, Swamiji, this relationship was great when it started. It's not going anywhere now. Where do you expect it to go? Meaning that first flush of joy that you had is no more there now. Correct? Because now it has become norm in your life. It's like our ashram in Rishikesh is one of the most beautiful places in the Himalayas. One of the most. I wouldn't say the most, but one of the most beautiful places. So I was staying there for 6-7 years. So for me it's an everyday scene. The mountains, the Ganga flowing through, and the rains of winter, the mist around. Beautiful. Yeah, but we see it every day. So after some time what happens? No. Nice, fine. Then come, go to the class. You have to do something. Fine. Then someone will come, some visitor will come. Oh, so beautiful. Then we look at the same scene again. Right? Correct. It's very beautiful. It has become norm. So any new thing is because this is experiential. The joy of self-knowledge is not experiential. It is a sense of quiet fulfillment that you have. It's not an experiential thing. Yeah. You're not going around like a grinning gorilla. Because you're supposed to be happy all the time. So if someone asks you a question, you're Ananda, you have to say. Or the other way around. I know these type of people also. I'm always Ananda. So if someone cracks a joke, I can't laugh too much. Why? Because then I'm supposed to be. How can Ananda have an increase? All this is not understanding. Ananda is the sense of fulfillment that you have. When the limitlessness that is you manifests in the mind, there is experiential joy. So even for a wise person, there can be experiential joy, no? You went to Calcutta. Wow. Calcutta Rasagulla? Wow. It's something to eat. If you have not eaten Calcutta Rasagulla, you have missed something in life. Swamiji, you like sweets? Come on, have one more. No, one is enough. No. And these are huge things. One more. After that will become a pain. No more joy. Oh, but she's not there in the class today. This is one of our students who once put away 42 rasagullas. Jokes apart, it is not experiential. It is a sense of fullness that you have. Why? The dukkha of existentialism, the dukkha of your existence is born of your conclusion that I am a finite being. Conclusion and experience that I am a finite being. Once I discover my limitlessness, that dukkha is gone, replaced by that quiet, contented, fulfilled feeling. That fulfillment is yours because limitlessness is you. If you are the limitless, it's always there in the mind as limitlessness. Therefore, you don't have to go about grinning like a gorilla, quiet sitting down. The situation demands some seriousness, you give it that seriousness. Ananda. Ananda serious. Ananda laughing with, for a joke. It's not there is more or less. Ananda showing empathy with someone's grief. There's a lot of grief in the society and you have been through that grief before. So, you empathize with that grief. You know what grief is. It's not that you don't know what grief is. You have been in grieving situations before. So, you'll empathize with that. You're nirbhaya, free from fear. But you'll recognize a fearful situation or fear in somebody else. Now with my background I can say You'll be unafraid yourself, but you'll know the value of fear for yourself and others. Sometimes fear is more useful than doing something to someone, to your enemy. So, all this is normal living, but with a sense of fulfillment. Therefore, dukkha samyoga viyoga yoga sanyatam. It is called yoga in the sense of dukkha samyoga viyoga. Freedom from that grief. Sa nischayena yoktavya yoga anirvinna chetasa. That means what? Nischayena yoktavya. Take to this knowledge with a certain sankalpa, with a determination. Nischayena. Because the decision to get this knowledge is one of the most important things. Are you committing yourself to gain this knowledge? That is called nischaya. Very, very important. Irrespective of your lifestyle. You may have 100 other things to do. That's okay. That's fine. You may conclude, I am not ready for a sadhu life. That's okay. Sadhu's life is not necessary. It's an advantage if you are ready, but not otherwise. But are you making a decision that, yes, I will want this knowledge in this lifetime? That nischayena. That's important. Only then it works. So, in the Mundaka, I think it is said, lot of things. You will not gain the Atma by a lot of study, lot of this, lot of that. It goes on. All the important things for gaining self-knowledge, it mentions that you will not get by this. Na bahuda shrutena. By lot of listening, you won't get it. Na nyayena. Na tyage. All that it says. Then it says, how do you get it? Yam mesha vranate tena labhyaha. One who chooses it, he gets it. Have you made it your choice? That is the important thing. Yes, I choose moksha. I want it. I may have a lot of other things to do still in life. That's okay. It's my ultimate goal. Immediately I have things to do. That's perfectly all right. That's being practical. That's being pragmatic. Now, Samji, I'm at the stage of life where I don't have things to do. Great. Why are you wasting your time? Come. You've been there, done that now. Fine, then come. No, there's few things to be done. Okay, do that. Then come. Anyway, there is some time. 2 years now for the ashram to get ready. God willing, weather permitting. So, I mean, that's with me. Other places are all available. So, if you're ready, fine. If I'm not ready for it, okay. Live a life of Karma Yoga, get ready. Then decide whether you want to continue as a Karma Yogi and get the knowledge, or switch over to this and get the knowledge. Immersing yourself into this knowledge is a good thing for some time. That's why I conduct camps for everyone to immerse themselves in the knowledge. Morning to evening, you're just immersing yourself. It helps. That much, necessary. Sannyasa, optional. Karma Yoga, no choice. Because Karma Yoga is you are making Vedanta 24/7 then in your life. You're growing out of all your insecurities, your desires, your this, your that. All that is dragging you down, you're growing out of. Then if you want to enjoy a thing, you can enjoy it out of choice. Not, oh, I need it. Without that, I am nothing. Without that, I am something. But I choose to enjoy it. Fine. Nobody can lead me into temptation. You know why? Because I can find my own way. That's what a Karma Yogi is about. Yeah. What do you mean lead you into temptation? You do what it takes. Yeah, if you want to enjoy something, enjoy it. If you don't want to, fine. So a karma yogi is a person who should be able to say, been there, done that. It's important. What is happening? Sorry. Otherwise, it'll be like this batchmate of mine. He was working in New York for 8 years before he joined the ashram, my batch. So I said, wow, 8 years in New York, you must have gone to a lot of museums, seen a lot of plays. Because New York, that was a happening place those days. I don't know how it is now, those days it was. He says, no. I used to just go to my work, come home, go to the study group, come home. Nothing else. I said, you wasted 8 years in New York. I'm not talking about all the other things you can do in New York. Pub crawling, there's a lot of stuff you can do in New York. I'm talking about all the positive things, even that he has not done. What is the point? I was a karma yogi. What karma yogi? Not had any exposure. You had a chance, God gave you a chance, you didn't take it. It's like a Gujarati friends carrying a cook with them when they go to the Himalayas, where such fantastic vegetarian food is available. Vaishnav Bhojan without onion and garlic if you want. And they carry their cook and eat their khichdi there also. You try, go local, see something. Or my friends trying to take me to an Indian restaurant in UK, in London. Indian food I eat every day. Give me a burger, give me a pasta, and something different. Mumbaikars, can you imagine eating a vada pav in Calcutta? Vada pav, you have to come to Bombay to eat. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is Karma Yoga is about getting experience in life and growing with that. If that is not there, then what's the point of Karma Yoga? Grow, do things.
I have a question.
Huh?
I have a question.
Shoot.
So when you're in the path of Karma Yoga, obviously everything that you experience, there is a vasana that is created. Now, even if at a point of time where you feel been there, done that, but the vasanas may not leave you.
If you're doing things with the Karma Yoga Buddhi, the question is, will the vasanas, impressions created in your mind not leave you? If you're doing things with Karma Yoga Buddhi, Ishvara Arpanam Prasada Buddhi, where is the question of vasanas? You're growing out of everything. Everything you do, you had a vasana for it, that's why you tried it out. You've done it with Ishvara Arpana and Prasada Buddhi. You've grown out of it, been there, done that. I'm ready to move on. If it is there, you can enjoy it. You have the capacity to enjoy, but you don't need it. Yeah, you don't need it. So that is what Karma Yoga does to you. So it gives you your freedom. Karma Yoga is freedom in action, not freedom from action. Freedom in action. Yeah. So actually, and this vasana is not really recognized in the Shastra, okay? Yes, some samskaras are there, that is all. So you have some samskaras. You're a foodie. Samskara. So what's the big deal about being a foodie? Does it really prevent me from knowing the truth? Unless I think Ananda is out there, not anywhere else. As long as that value system is taken care of, you're okay. You enjoy good food. You may not know this, but my teacher, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, was a great foodie. And I went to Calcutta and I came back, I was wondering, my God, my respect for him is going. How come you could eat so much of food here? I ate it for that much, breakfast, lunch and dinner outside for 3 days. I am having a tough time eating that much. So much so in the flight, I didn't even take tea. Chalo, no, dinner, nothing. give my stomach a complete break. But he was not like that. You enjoy it. 1 week we had talks in Bombay. So talks in Bombay means either he is going to someone's house to eat a proper feast, or they are getting food for him in the hotel where he is staying. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. So after the talks he stayed for 1 day extra. And he told me, don't let anyone know. Let them think I have gone back because I want a break. I said, yes Swami, I want to. So I was there. So I said, Swamiji, for lunch would you like something? We'll order something from the hotel, something light. Yes. Evening, another person, one of our trustees who was there, said, Swamiji, it's a great thali place. Those who are in Bombay will know. You know the typical thali where you have 30-40 items? It's a great thali place, walking distance. 2 minutes walk. Takkas thali. We are staying in Western Hotel. 2 minutes away. Let's go. I said, my God. 1 week of eating with them. So another friend who was also Swamiji's great devotee would drive Swamiji all over the place. You know, Swamiji would stay with him and all that. Called Ananda. Big fat guy. Huge. He was also a great foodie. But that night, both of us shared a khichdi. But Swamiji had a full thali. You can enjoy it, but what is the problem?
Attitude.
Yeah, there's no issues. He was out of fullness. He's not eating the thali for the sake of fullness. That's just an experience to go through. You are already full and complete. If you are full and complete, and he can live on khichdi also, no issues. Not a problem. Okay. Not an issue. So this dukkha samyoga, it comes purely because of your existential issues. And the freedom is only knowledge, self-knowledge. There is no other freedom. Therefore, it is sometimes equated with meditation, nididhyasana. Because that is what helps you make that knowledge your own. Nididhyasana makes it your own. Why? Remember the old Rasgulla example? Or like pickling something. Supposing you are pickling some vegetables in vinegar. It's not a dip. You don't dip the vegetable in vinegar and take it out and eat it. You let it go until the whole thing pervades. Same way here. Immerse yourself in this knowledge until it becomes yours. It pervades you. Your whole mind is full of this knowledge. So, that is, then you can say, dukkha samyoga yoga, yoga samyatam. Sir, nischayena yukta. Choose that. Yoga anirvinna chetasaha. Anirvinna chetasaha. With a mind that will not, what you call, falter, get depressed. 5 years I've been studying, nothing is happening. A mind that gives up. I tried so hard. I attended a 3-month course in Rishikesh, but it's not enough. Try 3 years, then I'll tell you whether it's enough or not. 3 hours can be enough for self-realization. 3 years may not be enough. Depends on what you have here. Without being self-critical to work on that issue. This is very important. We tend to be too self-critical. There's an issue to be worked with. I'll do it. I'll take care of it. If you're too self-critical, then you will get discouraged. You need some encouragement also. I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I can't do that, I can't do. Like yesterday, day before, someone told me, Swamiji, I find fasting very difficult. I said, I'll tell you a secret. I don't like to fast even now. And when I first started, I found fasting very difficult. You found it difficult? I said, very difficult. I had breakfast, decided to skip lunch and have something for tea. The gap between lunch and tea was only 2 hours when I was started working. That's the time I decided to join the ashram and everything. So I said, ashram, we may have to fast. So you have to be able to do it. So that 2 hours I was only thinking of the butter road I was going to have at tea time. I'm not joking, this was me before I joined the ashram. So we all struggle with certain things. Yeah, because I was brought up with about physical culture, martial art, this, that. Fasting, we do fasting. It's okay. We all have certain areas to grow. We all have. So, without being too self-critical, without thinking, hey, I'm a great guy, both extremes avoid. Both extremes avoid. And do what is necessary. Take care of things. Don't get a setback. Something happened in my life and all my knowledge went out of the window. It can happen, no? You can be confronted with a situation where everything that you know is shaken or not applicable or available. That's okay. That's part of the game. They're just telling you that you need to get a little bit more nishtha. That's all it is. Nothing more than that. Yeah, and that's all it is. Yeah. Don't worry. There are times when I felt like killing some people. No, I'm not joking. After a 3-year course in the ashram. And only my discipline as a martial artist kept me from whacking that guy. Not my great compassion and joy and fulfillment. Only my sheer discipline kept me. Yeah. Part of the game, you know what you have to work on then. You know what area you have to work on. Like recently in the camp, I don't know if people noticed it. I pulled up somebody. Hard. Really hard. I thought it was necessary. They were lashing out at me. Yeah. I thought the person needed it. Now you can question my judgment. But each person has to work according to what they think is right. No? And I'm more objective than most because of this knowledge of being rooted in this knowledge for so many years. So if I think the person needed it, it will be more or less right. Big deal. So there may be a time in your life when something shook you up and the knowledge seems to fly out of the window. Then that is for you to realize what is the area of growth. That's all. I need to work a little bit on it. Don't judge yourself too harshly. Don't excuse yourself either. No, okay. There's something I need to do. That's all. Okay. What else is there? Not to give up because you don't see results. There's something long back. I heard this, this country western songs. The thing was called, it was out of some movie or something. Go west, young man, and grow up with the country. It's talking about America, in the 18th century, etc. The whole of America is nothing but immigrant population at that time. So go west, young man, and grow up with the country. And then there was a line there which said, eastward the sun climbs slowly, oh how slowly. But westward look, the land is bright. You're waiting for sunrise. Yeah. I've been waiting for the last 10 minutes. It is still dawn, it is not yet. Sunrise is not yet. Look backwards. Oh yeah, it's all darkness when I came. Now it's all bright. Exactly. Look back into your life. You will see, hey, A lot of clarity, a lot of brightness in your life compared to what you were a few years ago, before you started all this. When you look forward, a long way to go. That's okay. After all, what is the journey? From me to myself. Journey is from me to myself, so where is the long way? So anirvintna chetasaha, without a depressed mind. Okay, without a mind, that's this thing. Okay. Then next verse onwards, he's giving a few instructions on actually how to meditate, what to do, etc. That we will see next class. Okay, with some practice on it also. Oh, that's a good place to stop.